Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals and welcome to game number 2 of a best of 5. It is a Zerg versus a Terran and it is going to be playing out on Derelict Watcher. I'm really excited about this game and this entire series. It's going to be so good. And I realise probably only small children and certain animals could have heard because I just went to a decibel, an octave so high the bats went crazy for 1,000 miles around me, because there are bats in England, believe it or not. Anyway, up in the top right position, spawning as the blue Terran player from Team Empire, it is Happy. And his opponent down in the bottom left, the red Zerg, currently 1-0 up, none other than Acer's Nerchio. So, these two in game number 1 were pretty... Okay, I'm not going to admit it. They weren't evenly matched. Nerchio Rolf stomped, like to the max. He was definitely on it, and he played that out really, really well. So, congratulations to him there. Happy is going to have to step up his game if he wants to bring back this series. Of course, being a best of 5, he's not out of the woods yet. Nerchio, he's still got a long way to go, because obviously needs to win this game and the next if he wants to take it in a clean sweep. But we'll wait and see what he's going to do. Anyway, we do see the Overlords is coming across the map, and that's because it's the only real interesting thing happening in the early game stages. Ever wonder how many eyes an Overlord has? The answer is quite a lot. They also have a whole ton of legs, but I've never understood why the Zerg, right, as a race that constantly is evolving and specializing itself to be the most adapted to its environment possible, why would something that flies have legs? That's just a waste of energy and kind of growth, and it doesn't really make sense. Anyway, that's beside the point. What does make sense, though, is Happy getting down this command center first. And why does that make sense? Well, it's because in game number 1, he went for that Reaper expand on probably the best map for Reapers there's ever been, and it didn't work too well. Yeah, didn't. It was ineffective. Ill-advised to do it again. So he's going to switch it up a bit. Nerchio going for the hatch first again into the spawning pool, because what else would you do against Terran? Nothing. Of course you're going to do that against Terran, is what you'll always do. Meanwhile, we can see here that Happy, he's just, well, once he's expanded, he's getting that barracks up. The gas timing's perfectly normal. Probably won't be for Reapers, but yeah, even if he had gone for a Reaper expand, this map isn't amazing for it. And if we take a look here, this is only the real cliff area that can be exploited by Reapers through there. So it's not huge. All of this is a double cliff, so therefore cannot jump up it. Very frustrating. Now, Nerchio comes out. He hasn't yet seen the SCV, I don't think, so the SCV is going to be able to sneak past, but will get spotted as the hatchery finishes. But once again, Nerchio just playing things really on the safe side, getting that drone down there, trying to make sure that, okay, no bunks are going down, no sneaky shenanigans are occurring, and hopefully everything's just going a-okay for him, and it is. And that's great news, because back at home, of course, Happy, he's not doing anything scary for the moment. He's just busy getting down his orbital commands, a bunker, etc., etc. But what is very surprising is that Nerchio hasn't scouted any of this. His Overlord path has brought him down towards this third. He's checking for proxies. He's checking for anything that may be untoward. He's going to just try and be certain that actually I'm safe to go about what I think I'm doing. And that's why these two Zerglings are chasing down the SCV. He wants to make sure that there's no map presence for the Terran player. And really, as a Zerg, you can go ahead and do whatever you want and expand absolutely everywhere. Natural base is now being taken, though, by Happy. We can see that the factory coming down as well. So probably going to be a Hellion follow-up to this. Very normal. Nothing too surprising there. But Nerchio apparently requiring 1 minute in the game. But everything, by the magic of replays, is now back to normal. So, the bunker up and running. The supply depot is still there. We do see that a third CC getting made as part of the natural wall. Something you don't often see. It's very unusual to get this sort of build. And the reason it's unusual is because generally speaking the command center will be made up in the main, even if you have to float down to a southern position like this. And the purpose of that is to hide it from a Zerg player, because now all that Nerchio needs to do is run a Zergling up, and frankly that is probably what he's going to do, and he'll spot it. Yep, there we go. Sees the third command center there, and everything that he needs to know about what his opponent's doing has now been discovered. This spine crawler could even get cancelled, actually, because the first Hellions are incredibly late. They're not going to be doing too much. The Queens are there. So I'm surprised to see Nerchio just allowing that to finish. Maybe just feeling I better be safe rather than sorry. In comes the drone up towards the third. Probably going to secure up this third hatch as soon as he's got the minerals for it. There we go. So it's all looking good. A very standard play out of Nerchio at the moment. He's still mining off of just the 2 gas. Hasn't taken the third and fourth yet. The third one about to get taken, as well as the double evolution chamber. And these double upgrades, real staple of Zerg play. Really makes it work very effectively. These 2 Hellions, though, they're going to try and disrupt this steady flow from Nerchio at sometime soon, just plowing their way across the map. The creep spread starting to ease its way forward, but we see already these Zerglings are going to get made a short work of, and now of course the third gets confirmed. But that's not going to be a concern to Happy, because he's like, well, my third command center's already finished. I'm making into an orbital command, and yours isn't even done yet. Guess I'm in a good spot, and we can see that really reflected in the worker count. Only a 10 drone lead for Nerchio at the moment, but he's going to be pumping drones relatively heavily. 4 Hellions though, they're going to be trying to stop this creep spread getting any further forward. Should be able to get all of these creep tubers actually, which is going to be very frustrating for Nerchio, because that means he's got to spend more energy getting it down. He's going to be able to delay the creep moving forward. Gets one of the active creep tumors, just trying to come down. Will he get the second one? Yes, he will. That is a big win. And while he lost the Hellion forward, it now means that these queens and the creep is going to take so much longer to come through. One more creep tumor gets taken out, and now suddenly this creep for Nerchio is a mile back. Yes, 3 Hellions in total died for the cause, but it was a good cause to die for, because without this creep spread, Nerchio is missing 2 things. Firstly, and personally what I think is most important, the early warning system. Terran players, if they walk out across creep, they're not going to like that. The second thing though is that obviously the speed boost from this creep means the third can't get as easily defended. Speedlings and defensive units can't get over there to protect against drops. It's all very awkward. But scans coming off for Happy, see the double evolution chambers there, see it's researching something, and also see the Baneling there. So this should now be Zergling Baneling Mutalist coming down from Nerchio. Meanwhile, up on Happy's side, we can see he's just adding on a couple of additional barracks from just getting the 1 tank. And I actually really am a huge fan of the single tank play, because just 1 siege tank can massively help you against some early game shoves, as long as it doesn't get taken out because it's just been left all on its lonesome outside of the wall. 1 Overlord there was going to try and generate some creep, but sees the Marines coming over and just says, nah. This isn't going to turn out to be a good day for me. The Vikings there as well though, so the Overlord will definitely die. Nerchio, meanwhile, pushing across with a couple of speedlings. The orbital command will land, but are there enough units here for Happy in order to defend against these lings? Well, he's got the 1 tank, as I previously mentioned, but that's not going to really do too much. We'll kill a couple of Zerglings, and the rest of them are going to try and sneak through. Another good hit goes off, but these 2 mules that have only just been cooled down are going to have to be forced back, and this is very frustrating. One of them nearly getting taken down. It's wasted probably about 1 collection of minerals for these 2 mules, and that's actually quite a substantial amount of just mineral income that won't occur for the next couple of minutes, which is of course not to Happy's liking. Overlord's getting taken down. Nerchio though has got a good supply of those, so isn't getting supply blocked anytime soon. Interesting spire placement as well, just tucked into the mineral line there. His creep spread is also going pretty damn good. The armory back at home for Happy just means that he is going to be able to keep things going. He's getting up, interestingly now, a second factory, which is quite cool, because he's getting some Widow Mines out, but he's also got a tech lab there, and that means he should be able to research drilling claws fairly soon, because of course Biomine is a ridiculously potent strategy that Terran players can employ against Zerg. So Nerchio now has to be careful anytime he moves. He needs to make sure that he gets some Overseers, preferably gets Overseers speed as well, because that new speed boost is so effective at doubling their speed. Wow, it's just great against Widow Mines. You can actually keep up with Mutalisks, and as Liquid Snoot says, thank you Blizzard for that, because he tweeted that out the other day, and he genuinely wasn't being sarcastic. It is an amazing, amazing buff, and I know it would be really good for Snoot too. Because against Terran, he makes like a gazillion Overseers, because that's just how he rolls. Now, something did get taken out there. I'm not quite sure what it is. It may have been a medevac, but again, it's just good. The Mutalisks have been revealed, though. We've got Drilling Claws getting researched. The Widow Mine count isn't huge yet. Only 5 of them, but of course more getting produced constantly. Drilling Claws just allows you to move in and burrow a lot quicker, and so therefore getting in good positions, just moving straight under the army with the Widow Mines and burrowing on top of them or underneath them is still a very effective strategy to deploy. Now, what I am interested to find out is what Nerchio is going to be doing off the back of this, because he's got 2-2 nearly done. He's got +1 air weapons, and he's now getting his infestation with. That's good to see. He should be taking up in towards Ultralisks. That's really the late game plan for Zerg players, is you go, well, you get your Zerglings down, your Banelings and your Mutalisks, stay on that in the mid game just long enough, survive until you can get the Ultras out. That's really what we're seeing now, is the moment where Terran probably somewhat its strongest against Zerg in the current metagame, where they've got a good number of mines out, their upgrades are still looking good, they've got the medevacs there, the real solid mid to late game composition that just starts tearing apart the Zerg swarm fairly easily. But Nerchio, he's arching over the top with quite a few units, going to try and sneak his way into the natural potentially, just checking to see if there's a fourth. There isn't, of course, but all the while we see Happy moving down now to the southern portion of the map, but a lot of Zerglings here holding the watchtower see absolutely everything. This is now a concern, because with some good baning hits, this could be disastrous for Happy. If he gets these Widow Mines down and in a good position, maybe he's okay. He's using them defensively off to the left here. so that as Zerglings come in, they should get some good hits off, and there we go, but a lot of Marines dying with those hits as well. The Mutalisks trying to get their way into some of this action, but the Medevacs boosting away as fast as they can. Unfortunately, as they drop the Marines out one at a time, the Mutalisks doing an okay job of cleaning them up, but another stim goes down and will force a retreat out of the Mutalisks for the moment. The 4th base of Nerchio is looking a little bit exposed, but in come the Mutalisks, and against these very, very low health Marines will clean it up fairly easily. So if we look at the resources lost, we can see that Happy losing about 600 more resources than that of Nerchio for the moment, but still not enough to say this game is over, because their worker count is very similar, and therefore with the additional mules it simply means that Happy mining about 300 minerals a minute more than that of his opponent and still has a great gas income. But yeah, a couple of additional spine crawlers coming down here. Is there a macro hatch yet for Nerchio? No, there isn't, so maybe something he wants to consider soon, because he's getting around that 1000 mineral mark, needs to look to do that. His hive is coming down ready for that tech up into Ultralisk. He's also got the Overlord and Overseer speed upgrade coming through, but it's the Mutalisks that are dealing all the damage at the moment, but not too much. Only 2 workers killed off so far by Nerchio, but that's 2 more than that have been killed by Happy, who has yet to do any economic damage to the Zerg player. The Overseer trying to stay with the army, of course. Once that speed boost kicks in, it will suddenly become miraculously quickly. The Widow Mines unburrowing. You can pick off Widow Mines with this number of Mutalisks, but it's a bit like playing Russian roulette, that you never quite know when it's going to go off, and, well, you are literally playing with a mine. It's not even like playing with a handgun, which is still ridiculously dangerous and not recommended, but a mine must make Russian roulette even more scary. But now Happy, he's got a scary army himself. He's at 2-2, so their upgrades are equal. He's actually starting 3-3 before 3-3 starts before Nerchio, and that's because Nerchio is a bit preoccupied by counter-attacking, saying, well, if you're going to move out, I'm going to engage you. I think I can win in a base race, and he's going to go straight towards his third. Can he get back, though, to defend in time? The 2 spines are there, but they're being made very short work of. The Mutalisks trying to take out as many of these supply depots and missile turrets as possible, but a good number of missile turrets actually forcing away nearly all of this now, and this is while the 4th base does get completely destroyed by Happy. And now, of course, we see the Mutalisks, the Zerglings are trying to come back. More Banelings need to morph in, though. We've got a drop coming down in the main, as well as 1 lone Marine up in the top position here, discovering the hidden 5th base. The drop in the main has now been cleaned up, but the push still making its way forward. A good number of Widow Mines there, trying to get some nice connections. The Banelings are still rolling forward, though, and this is what the Marines do not ever want to see. Banelings rolling towards you must be the scariest sight you could possibly imagine, and Nerchio cleaning that push up really quite nicely, but at the cost of his 4th. 5th is now secure. This 1 lone Marine really thinks he can, but unfortunately is about to be met by approximately the entire Zerg swarm, and therefore will get taken out. Now, as we see, the 3rd was delayed by Nerchio there, but it wasn't taken out, so that just means it can float back down here. A couple of workers were killed, 24 in total for Nerchio, which is going to be frustrating. You don't want to be losing those workers for no kind of damage done yourself, and knocking out that 4th when the 5th was already on its way probably doesn't justify that. But do not distress, because of course Happy does have mules. As we mentioned previously, mules are great units, and so therefore should be able to keep his economy looking somewhat okay. The Mutalisks now moving a little bit further forward. We can see from the APM, Happy's actually playing quite a considerable amount faster than that of Nerchio, but Nerchio is just using that APM to do so much more damage. Now even more workers have been killed. 27 have met their grave, but that's going to just force more missile turrets down and really trying to shut out this Mutalisk play that's working just so damn well. It's really fantastic to see. So 3-3 is nearly done. Remember, of course, 2-2 is finished for Nerchio, but at no point has he started those 3-3 until I literally say it, and then he begins, because that's, of course, Instacaster Curse to the max, and exactly what we all want to see. So, Marines and 1 Marauder chasing down Mutalisks. This Marauder clearly wanted to be a Marine, but was just a bit too fat to fit in the armor, so he got upgraded. But yeah, I'd say at the moment, this game, even though Nerchio does have a 10 worker lead and has lost slightly less resources, it's not over for Happy yet. What Happy needs to do is get some good engagements. Use these Widow Mines, the many Widow Mines, 13 of them, as effectively as possible to zone out a lot of the Zerg army, to get some good connections, specifically on the Banelings, to stop them colliding with the infantry, and then he should be okay, because remember, there's no Ultralisk Cavern yet for Nerchio. He hasn't teched up into tier 3, but the time is rapidly running out for Happy, because Nerchio is very quickly approaching max, but there are just so many Widow Mines over here. You've got to be very, very cautious. Mutalisks are trying to escape, but some more going down, and if we take a look at the resources lost, for the first time in this game, Nerchio has lost more than that of Happy, and that's not too good for him. A couple of Marines making their way down towards this 5th base. We've got the double drop, or rather double medevac with just a single drop worth of units, heading towards this 3rd. Want to take out the 4th base as quickly as they can, but is Nerchio going to be able to save it? The answer is yes, he will. And of course, the medevac as well could even go down. It's heading up towards the main base, but the Mutalisk chasing it out as quickly as possible will pick that off. And with only 3 Marines, they shouldn't struggle significantly to deal with it. As well, this base has been taken down here, the 6th base, I do believe. But that's fine, because Nerchio, he's got the upgrades coming down. He's got adrenal glands now done. And oh my goodness, I hit the wrong button. What even happened there? I don't even know. That was crazy. I'm just going to magically open this up and quickly come back to a point, and we'll get back to it. Okay, this never happened. Okay, everyone. So, I think this is where we were. Yep. Oh, have we already seen this? No. This is now where, of course, Nerchio is moving in, but Happy is moving through. Have we seen this bit? I'm suddenly very, very confused. I think we have. Yes, we definitely have. Okay, let's catch this up. Usually I just restart the cast, but I'm short on time, so we're gonna catch up. So yeah, we saw all of this happening. We saw Nerchio being just a complete boss, cleaning all that up. The top base was attacked by 1 lone Marine. Yeah, there we go. So I should catch up a little bit more. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. There we go. A couple of Marines came down. The upgrades were looking fairly good. Double expansion on its way. The Mutalisk still moving around. They attacked a little bit through there. This is really quite fun watching this in like super fast speed, I must say. Up comes another drop. Are we getting nearly to where we were? Was that drop cleaned up? I think it was. I think that drop definitely was cleaned up. The Widow Mines were all around in position. Oh yeah, because Adrenal Glands was definitely 100% done. This was all sorted out and those shenanigans were occurring. This base was killed off, remember. The 3rd base took a little bit of damage but was eventually saved. Adrenal Glands was finished and the Ultralis Cavern hadn't started. So right, this is roughly where we got to, I think. But we need to slow this back down to faster speed. Don't look at the time. And here we go. Wait for it. Wait for it. Right, so, Nerchio is now going in. He's not got the 3-3 upgrade yet, but he's going to try and engage this, which is quite a bold move. He's got to be so careful, because there's a lot of Widow Mines down here. Are the Overseers with the army? Yes, they are, so he can try and stop these doing too much damage, but he's just running straight over all of the mines. Nerchio losing so much. Does he have enough stuff, though? He's pushing straight in, going to do quite a lot of damage, and, well, there we go. We can see that the mines weren't enough to stop this. GG was called, and Happy loses game number 2. That means he's 1 game away from defeat. If you like that video and my little mishap by a misclick, then make sure you like it. Leave a cool comment. You can laugh at me a little bit. I give you permission to do that I couldn't control the replay appropriately. But yes, I'll see you in game number 3 in just a second.